Now, when it comes down to what's important, he chose Jesus over jumpers. Now, I ain't mad at that. I actually applaud that. Yo, how you guys doing on this fine Wednesday? Welcome back into the Seventh Man Up podcast. I'm your host, Alex Burleson. And guys, can this podcast episode just be real? Me just talking, venting. For an episode, I just want to be real. You'll still get the NBA content, but it'll tie into me just talking, you know? So here it is. At times, man, I feel like my life been like Greg Oden's rise and then fall, particularly in my failed engagement. Mind you, she was crazy. I was 29 at the time, thinking I'm gonna get married before I'm 30, and with that being only in my second relationship, my hindsight wasn't that far, if I'm being honest. And why I say like Greg Oden is because it feels like my life was on the rise before the relationship, and then unbeknownst to me at times, I was wavering throughout the relationship. Like happiness would come and go, i.e., getting injured and then the high of coming back from the injury. But then once the relationship ended, I felt like I was in the wilderness for a while. Mind you, it comes and goes. Just feel like I'm in the wilderness at times, even still. But what I've learned is that I can't dwell in the wilderness. Happiness comes and goes as it's a human emotion, but joy comes from the Lord that won't ever leave. Now, continuing on with Greg Oden, I saw a clip of Greg Oden where he was just walking and then someone came up to him and said, "Do you play basketball?" The way he answered it along with his demeanor was so depressing as he answered it with a, "No, but I used to." To me, that's like saying, did you used to be in love? If you are in the Lord, that love doesn't leave. The assurance you have in your salvation should prove a telling of unwavering love. Like I've been in love before, but that was conditional love, which I know sounds bad. I'm human, okay? But through all my fails, it's easier said than done that I gotta bring myself back to God's love. Now, relating this to basketball, some players just lose the love for the game. Like for me, man, I love the game of basketball. Whether I'm just hooping by myself, rec at 24, or at a park. And I feel why players lose the love of the game is they have too much stuff clouding their mind where the game feels like a I have to, I need to, where it's a habit instead of a passion. Now, the game and faith can be similar to the right person. Our faith walk is the process of sanctification, where practicing your basketball skills is the process of improving in-game action. And I want to talk about this former player. More recent is AJ Griffin. Now, he played for the Atlanta Hawks, and then right before he announced his early retirement, he got traded to the Rockets. And part of his early retirement, he retired, mind you, when he was only 21 years old. And his reason for that was to focus on Jesus. He wanted to pursue ministry over basketball. Now, when it comes down to what's important, he chose Jesus over jumpers. Now, I ain't mad at that. I actually applaud that. It takes real discernment to walk away from what you worked your whole life for. He chose the greater passion. Now, with AJ Griffin, after basketball, he's kept what he has been doing on the low a bit, which I do respect. When someone like that goes silent on social media, I take that as a sign where they're focusing on themselves, which it seems he's doing. So go AJ Griffin. Now, to me, that's encouragement right there, where when God's calling is imminent, be different. Oh man, I'm going to say that again. When God's call is imminent, be different. We can't all be the same, right? I'm not like you. You're not like me. God made us unique for a reason. That's just me venting right there, talking, even with a bit of encouragement. But now we're on to the basketball side of things, so let's get it. This weekend is All-Star Weekend for the NBA. Now, for me, for the past few years, I have only been interested in Saturday night, where they have the classic skills comp, the three-point contest, and the dunk contest. Now, I found this out a few days ago that coming back to the three-point contest is Damian Lillard. Now, he hasn't played at all this season because he's been recovering from a torn Achilles that he suffered last season. So I'm excited to see Damian Lillard in the three-point contest, as he's been one of, not if my favorite player for the past few years in the NBA. I know on this podcast I've been raving about Jalen Brunson, but I'm a big Damian Lillard fan as well. Now, moving on to the dunk contest, one dunker I'm really intrigued to see is Jackson Hayes from the Lakers. A couple weeks ago, mid-game on a fast break, Jackson Hayes did a through-the-legs dunk, and that was pretty cool to see. Now, also in the dunk contest this year, we got the son of a dunk contest legend in Jace Richardson. And yes, that's Jason Richardson's son. Yo, I hope Jace brings his dad out to help in one of the dunks. Or he wears his dad's jersey from when he played for the Magic, or the Warriors jersey of when dad was in the dunk contest. That would be pretty cool. I can imagine a whole bunch of things that they do for it. So I think this weekend, Saturday night, is going to be really fun for the NBA. All right, well, I know it was a little bit short, but that's the pod for this one. I kept it real, but we also had some fun. As always, remember to stay up with them threes up. Love, joy, and peace. See ya!